Hello, Taurus. Welcome to July. I don't know if you guys can hear the church bells or not. Every morning at 9 and 9:30, the church bells here in Montenegro go crazy. So it's 9:31 right now. There's like 10 churches by me, I think. It's crazy. Seven of Wands coming out for you guys. An interesting energy. It's combative in some kind of ways. It's somehow needed though, because I think people are going to be very much on the offensive. If you are only attacking when you are first attacked, I think it's okay. It's kind of like that, you have to protect yourself kind of thing. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to stand up for what you believe and what you know to be right. And people are just going to be like letting their opinions fly. They're just going to be like letting it go and saying what they need to say. And, in some ways that's good because it really clears the air and allows people to move on from like their baggage, But at the same time, it can be tough, if you're kind of on the receiving end there because you're like, whoa, where the heck did that come from? And why are you bringing this up now? And it can get a little bit strange sometimes. So now we were getting the Star, the Nine of Cups in the World. Yeah, the World, it hasn't been making as big of an appearance as I was actually kind of expecting. That's okay. I'm happy it's coming out for you though, because this is a card of Taurus, right? All the fixed signs are represented here, and here you are, the bull, right? You are a part of the four faces of God: Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. And you are kind of at the forefront, with Uranus in your sign, and then we have, Mars squaring your sign in the retrograde directionality right now. So it just kind of is a time to reboot, reset, and to allow ourselves to be completely open to whatever it is that the universe needs us to learn at this time. Spirituality is at an all-time high if you allow it to be. Spiritual growth and spiritual development. You are in a place and in a position where you can receive extraordinarily insightful inspirations and have very productive meditations right now. Simply because you are one of the four fixed signs, Jupiter opposing you, the nodes in Aquarius and Leo, there is a lot going on for the fixed signs. You are on the docket for raised vibrations. It's time for y'all to get there. It's time for you to continue down this path. The Star is a beautiful energy of awakening. Now, it's not normally associated with that. However, I feel as though there's a deep connection with your cosmic purpose, or there could be if you allow it. A deep connection with your origins as well. If you subscribe to the starseed theory, if you believe that your soul might be from another world, now is a time for you to really come in contact with that and really determine once and for all, like who you really are, what your soul really is, and why you're really here. Many of us, the lesson is very basic. The lesson is very simple. We are here because we are meant to learn about self-awareness and consciousness. We need to become self-masters. We need to understand our emotions, understand our minds. We need to understand how to operate as a light body with the tools of our mind and soul, our mind and our emotions and our physical form. And so coming to that level of awareness can be hard, it can be difficult, but it's not beyond the realm of possibility for you in the next couple of months. The Nine of Cups is a card of pride, but the good kind of pride. you know? I see someone, when I look at this card, I see someone who has lived a life that they really should be proud of. I call it the emotional trophy case. You know, it's like when you go to a high school gym and you see all the trophies in the case, and you know that those trophies don't just represent the battles or the games, you know, the victories of the games. It represents all of the many, many, many hours of practice. It represents the blood, sweat, and tears that went into earning that, you know? And you have a life to be proud of. You do. And you are being called. You are being called up to something new. You're being called to being held to higher standards. And this is an energy where sometimes we feel so base because we're kind of being forced to keep this worldly physical existence going, because we're dealing with people on a consistent basis of people who aren't conscious, people who aren't aware of their place in the world, who aren't aware of what the world is. They're not aware of their soul's purpose. You know, they're just here, they're making money, they're trying to live a good life, they're trying to be what they think a good person is. They're trying to, you know, just do the things that society and culture has projected onto them, the way that they're, you know, they're doing the things that they were taught that they were supposed to do. But they're not breaking free from the dogma in any way, shape, or form. You are breaking free from the dogma. That's what the star truly represents. Understanding your place in the oneness. The oneness is something that is a continual process of understanding what that is and what that means. Two of Swords is a card of peace. A lot of people look at this card and they see a card of decisions or a crossroads, but it's not really what it is. It's a card of having a heart center that is so pure and so fierce and so sure of itself that all the decisions sort of go by the wayside because you know what's good for your soul, and that's it. There's only one path. There's only one thing that needs to be done. And that's the thing that's good for your soul. The thing that allows your light to shine. Obligations to people, obligations to things, to organizations, to friends, to jobs, to all this, that's all an illusion. Those obligations occur because you allow them to occur, because you give them importance, because you give them weight, you give them power over you. But the minute you take the power away from those things is the minute that you're back in the driver's seat, and it's the minute that you liberate yourself. Uranus in Taurus is giving you an opportunity to liberate yourself. Super totally not surprised. So you are probably facing a choice, and clearly that often occurs when the Seven of Wands comes out. This represents not only an external conflict, you with other people or someone else, but you within yourself. And clearly that's at play. You know, this occurs on the external world as well as the internal, external as well as the internal. But again, see, just as the cross, you know, kind of is right over the heart chakra, and this is kind of not exactly over the heart, but kind of over the heart chakra here. No matter where these coins lay or where they are in terms of height or depth, you know, that center point always remains equal. It remains stagnant, it remains the same. So the more pure and the more sure your heart is, which I am getting a feeling of that. This is a great card for Taurus, because it's like, no, I know what my heart says. I know what I want out of life, a Venus-ruled sign. Like, I know. There's never this very unwavering sense of knowing with you guys. And so when you know, you know. So like I said, any concept or any circumstance that gives you an illusion of choice, of having to choose one thing over the other is not real, because the only choice that needs to be made is the one that's good for your soul, like I said before. And you're going to know what that is. You might need to make some hard decisions, and you might need to hurt someone, and you might need to be brutally honest with someone or whatever. But at the end of the day, maybe they need to get hurt. You are not responsible for upholding their illusions either. You are not responsible for upholding their illusions. High Priestess has been coming out as well. She represents truth. She represents the veil. She's the guardian or the gatekeeper of the veil. And the veil between you and the ethereal substance, which is represented here with the water. Okay? This is like a baptism card, like a spiritual cleansing. I think a lot of people are going through what I would call a spiritual cleansing right now. And High Priestess is saying that if you have questions, now is the time to receive the answers to those questions. And if you can find in your heart and in your mind a quiet place in spite of the racket that's going on around you, you will not only receive the answers to those questions, but you'll receive answers to the questions that you didn't even know you were supposed to ask. She is secretive in nature. There's not a lot of chattiness here, meaning that you're probably going to be operating in a very internalized realm of self, very much in your heart and very much in your mind. But please remember that your heart and mind are tools that your light body use to fulfill a purpose. Okay? You are not a body, okay? You don't have a soul. You are a soul. You have a body. Okay? You are a soul. And the more and more we can operate as souls that do have a place in the cosmos. And I say the cosmos, and I know that's all super outer spacey and all of that, but with the Uranus quality, the Aquarius stuff, like it comes online. You're part in the greater spectrum of everything, you know? When we look up to the stars, in a weird way, we feel like, I don't think I've ever been like knowing someone like, oh, I don't like to look at the stars. Like, what a weird thing to say, right? I don't like to look at the stars. I don't like to look at the sky. The sky's not pretty. It's not fascinating. You know, like everyone's fascinated by what's above us. Everyone's fascinated when they see pictures of the Milky Way, or when they see pictures of, you know, these huge cosmic bodies like radio jets, or, you know, other galaxies, Andromeda or whatever. You know, like there's always curiosity there. And I think in some ways it's because it's so much a part of who we are, right? We are internal universes ourselves. And there's a familiarity there. And I know this is super, like, again, super outer spacey or whatever, but I think that's the kind of stuff that you're going to come in contact with. And Mars retrograde lends itself to, and again, we're working our way up to a Mercury retrograde at the end of July as well. So we're going to be having receptivity to that kind of stuff. We're going to be receiving that kind of information. It doesn't really have anything to do with the relationships with other people. Well, I feel like I dropped a couple cards at one. Just one, I guess. And then we have, see, the star and the sun are the same. A star is a sun. The sun is a star, right? These are the same energies here. And we even have the Aquarius Leo axis. And then we have the Six of Coins, which is a card, again, of balance. Balance, balance, balance. It's a card of reciprocity as well. I do suspect that people are going to be wanting and needing things from you. I totally will not be surprised if that's the case. You know, people are going to be asking you for things. They're going to be asking for your time. They're going to be asking for your energy, maybe even asking for money, you know, and it's going to depend on whether or not you are really needing to give it. But please do not be stingy with your resources, whether that is money, time, energy, love, whatever. Now is not a time to be stingy. Now is a time to really put in context our service to others versus our service to ourselves. How much do we give? You know, Taurus is Gaia, it's Earth. And Earth is nothing but abundance. Earth itself is a sentient being, you know, and the way Earth just gives and gives and gives and gives, so can Taurus. And Taurus is self-generating. It doesn't need anything from anybody. Really, you are an endless supply. Now, of course, there's a limit to that, of course, right? There's a limit to what you will allow. You know, at like a certain point, don't we think Mother Earth is going to be like, man, you humans, you suck. Like, let's get rid of y'all. I can't handle this anymore. You know, kind of thing. But please know that if you do need to let anything out of your life, material or energetic, that it will be repaid, because the sun is our endless supply of energy. You know, it truly is. It's our endless supply of energy. So when you need more energy, that will be given to you. That's what this indicates. When you need, you can receive so that you can continue to give. And it's this constant inflow, outflow, constant. So yes, other people are going to be needing things from you. You seem to have an incredibly sturdy heart this month, incredibly sturdy, full of strength, full of kindness, full of abundance. And that's a wonderful thing to have. In a weird way, Taurus is going to be the rock. I may have said that to Virgo as well, but you guys are definitely going to be the rock for the month. People are going to look to you. They're going to rely on you for being being someone that they can go to for advice or whatever. Please keep your perspective, because it's very easily to feel taken advantage of with the Six of Pentacles situation, but it's not really needed. It's not necessary. Please feel free, of course. I mean, naturally, of course. Say no to things if you don't feel that it's fair. Say no to things if you don't feel like it's good for your soul. That's the question you need to ask. Is it good for your soul? I do think people are looking to you. I think you're looking to other people. I think you're going to be hearing from people. The nature of a Mars retrograde, people resurface. They come out of the woodwork. Oh, justice reversed. We're going to need to clarify that in the comprehensive. I think there's an opportunity for you to rectify some kind of an injustice that was done. Six of Cups has been coming out a lot, which means that there is a resurfacing of energies around you. There's a resurfacing of people, and you are going to have an opportunity to do it right this time around, to do it the way that's good for you. You're going to have a chance to be everything that you wish you were before. I said this to Libra, it's like kind of going back to high school with all the information that you have now. You're going to have a chance to make that decision again with all the information that you have now. And it might be a different scenario, it might be different people, it might be different, a different kind of thing. It might not be with your ex, it might be with some new people, new things, but I think in essence, this decision or the circumstance will be the same, giving you that opportunity to do it right. to rectify the injustice. We rectify injustices through what we give. We continually learn more and more and more about ourselves by what we give. And that's across the board. That's not a Taurus thing. That's a human soul, right? A soul with a human body type thing. So yeah, so this is going to be something to clarify for sure as well. So let's go ahead and cut it off there. Thank you guys so much for being here. And if I don't see you for the comprehensive, then I will see you next month. Take care. Bye-bye.